Would you like to support Cubs Out Loud? One way is to join us over on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, patrons get early access to our shows, the pre- and post-show, and various other rewards. You can learn more at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. Thanks to all our patrons for their support in making this podcast. It's January 19th, 2025. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me Gary.
Everyone else is thinking it, and I just say it.
Well, welcome to Cubs Out Loud, the Bear Podcast of Indeterminate Length, episode number 771. Oh boy. Gary did a lot of work today, so I would just like people to appreciate what Gary does for this show. Might have been a little overboard, but you know, entertaining ideas sometimes do that.
Well, listen, first off, there's a reason behind why this is being done the way it is. So first we have to recognize that the auspiciousness of this occasion. So a couple of days ago, we had an anniversary.
Oh?
Yes.
Yep.
Jeff reluctantly wants to own that back on January 17th of 2008, the podcast started with the pilot episode. So happy 17 years, kids.
Hey, the podcast is officially an adult.
And legal in some areas. Something like
I
that.
think next year we'll say that. Let's keep it at 18.
You can go to R-rated movies unsupervised.
You can.
Ooh.
You can go to could you go to NC-17? I guess you could.
I mean, it's NC-17.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Yeah.
Very much so. So there's that. So that got me thinking about like, what could we do that's something, you know, a little fun, a little kind of silly, but different that we haven't done before. And I was like, you know what? Let's play a game. Let's play a game. Right. Where we let's play a sex game. So
Wait a minute, hold on. We need to be YouTube friendly here. I mean, come on.
The look on David's face. Not a poker face, just saying, mister.
No.
So, yeah, the Let's Talk About series has returned, and it's bingo time. So, we're putting a twist on the infamous bingo memes. So, if you've seen the bingo memes on social media, they're usually some type of a meme on a theme, and then people indicate on them what they are. Like if you recently remember, we did a Let's Talk About Kink, and we I think it was it kink or sex? Hang on, which one was it that we just did? Let's talk about kink, social media memes. So we were kind of talking about like what we see, and I mentioned that like you see stuff popping up at Blue Sky that you used to see in Twitter, used to see in Tumblr, and all that kind of jazz. So that being the case, I was like, because I saw a post recently and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. But then I was like, how can we do that, but do it different and kind of modify it? So we're going to learn about each other, even though we've been doing this for quite some time. And we're going to see who's the freakiest of the three of us as hosts based on this game. Now, I know that you all probably have some presumptions because one of us tends to win when it comes to these things. So I want you to take your bets now and see how this shade and see how this goes.
Wrong fan there. Wrong fan there.
Fact. And so I'm curious to see how many bingos we're gonna get. Like, who will be first to get a bingo? If there will be multiple bingos, yeah, bingos. And then whether or not anyone's gonna get a coverall in this situation.
Wow.
So here's what's going to happen. I am going to have the two of you rock, paper, scissors between you two. Go ahead.
Rock, paper,
Is it-
scissors, shoot, or is it rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors.
You could do the
We'll do rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We'll do
Okay,
rock,
okay.
paper, scissors.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You go first. Paper. I got.
So,
I had to
Jeff
paper.
has scissors. He cuts paper. So Jeff, you get to pick between the 3 bingo cards that have been created for the 3 hosts. You want number 1, number 2, or number 3?
I'm going to go with number 3.
Okay. So I am going to share the Google Doc called the bingo card number 3. Send. Damon, of the remaining 2 bingo cards, do you want number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
Okay. And I'm going to share with Damon bingo card number 1. Send. Now, hopefully these notifications go through pretty quickly.
Yes. Yes. Oh dear. My drive. Open up my drive. Oh, shut up. I know I have I have 83% storage. I get it. Shut up.
So what you can't see is happening in the digital age is each of them are opening a Google Doc that is a bingo card that I've crafted and branded and put together. As I was explaining in the pre-show, there are 24 squares that have been filled in with statements of the sexy kind of kink freak variety, and they have been rearranged. So all of us have unique cards amongst us.
Ah.
And once your document is loaded, you should see where the COL logo is in the middle. There is like kind of a colored dauber splotch over the COL face. You should be able to click on that and then copy paste it and save it and put it over top of all the different squares that count.
Oh, maybe not. Hold on. What just happened? Undo that shit. There we go. Okay. Move with text. What are you doing? Okay, hold on. I'll just copy. Copy. Control C. Can you then paste it? Oh, no, that's not working for me. It's fine. It's fine. I know what I'll do.
You got it?
I got it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Good Lord. This is a lot. I'm going to move this over here. Oh, my.
Keep saying that, Damon.
Well, I'm reading what's on this card.
That's fair. But before we begin, it's Freak Bingo!
All right. So the way this is going to work is the 24 selections. I just put them in alphabetical order. I think it's the easiest way to be able to go through. So I'm going to read them off, and then you're going to check on your card where that is. We have all of these. Here's the thing. This is on the honor system. You're going to mark it if it applies.
Got it.
So if you've done this, then it applies. And then you would mark your bingo card. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then obviously, once you get 5 in a row, you have a bingo. You can call out your bingo. And that's how we're going to learn who has the first bingo. Bingos are going to be in straight lines. So up, down, left, right, or diagonal.
And none of us are straight.
Yes, that is very true. Very, very true. In that case, any questions before we
Yes.
begin?
No questions.
Negatory.
All right.
No.
So first bingo, I don't know, number, ball, selection, whatever you want to call it, is going to be you accidentally sent nudes to a safe for work friend. So accidentally sent nudes to a safe for work friend.
Okay.
Are we ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Next one is been caught having sex. As in, someone else found you in the moment. So were you caught having sex?
Okay.
Jeff, you seem to be highly contemplating this one.
No.
Okay. All right. And then the next one is have been DP'd or have DP'd. So have you been double penetrated or have you double penetrated? This is part of why David was saying, oh my, earlier. Because these are pretty serious.
Okay. Wait. Whoa.
What?
Trying to see if I don't. Oh no. Okay. Okay.
Did you find it?
I don't see it on my card.
Let me see.
Unless I miss it. Oh, there it is. I was looking for the word have. I didn't
No,
see
yeah.
the word DP.
I gotta be careful. I'll be a little bit more proper about the.
Well, hell. This is not doing what it's supposed to.
If I knew you guys had printers and paper, I would have told you to just print it out and then do it old
Well,
school.
we already know that Damon does.
Well, here's the tree. I have a printer. I don't have any more paper. Oh, well, I guess I have some paper, but again,
do not take the memo from work and print the bingo card on the back of it.
No, it wouldn't be that. It would definitely not be that. I wouldn't do the I wouldn't put it on a memo. Plus, like, who has memos that are printed anymore? But
everything's an email.
But I would probably have done like the back of something that I've already printed that just I know I'm not going to use anymore.
That's fair. That's very fair. All right. Next one. Been fisted or have fisted.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that you have given somebody your paw or have received.
Mm-hmm.
So this is red hanky territory.
Or handball, as some people refer to it as.
Yes.
Yes. Very good.
I remember in a show where we talked about that.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
It was a long time ago.
Very true. All right, next up. Been paid or have paid for sex. Now, if I know us well enough, I know that there has been some discrepancy in the past about whether or not accidental counts.
Yeah, I accidentally paid for sex. Or
that's
accidentally
a
been
weird-
paid for sex.
That is
No,
a
I was going to say it's
weird.
probably more the latter, that you were accidentally paid for sex.
I need to figure out how does one accidentally get paid for sex? I have a question. I need some clarification
I mean, it's
on that
that
shit.
the accidental part isn't part of the thing. It's just whether you have or have not, or
Well,
been paid or
I
paid for it.
think if you have accidentally been paid for sex, that counts. And here's why. Because you were paid for sex. It doesn't matter whether or not you asked to be paid for sex or intended to be paid for sex. You still got paid for sex.
Right.
Right.
So,
It doesn't
Whoopsie,
matter whether
paid
it
for
was
sex.
accidental or on purpose.
right. No, I agree.
Whoopsie, you're a hooker.
Or or just a sex worker in some way.
Yes. Agreed. All right, you ready for the next
Yes.
one?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Been to a bathhouse. This does not mean that you actually did anything at said bathhouse. This is just that you've been to one.
Uh-huh.
I'm also trying to do my card as well.
I know you kind of have to hit both. And I can't show, but I can say I printed it out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I remember that I had some parchment paper that
I was just going to say, did you pull some resume paper out?
I had some parchment paper, so I printed it out because the copy thing it's just throwing it out of proportion. So
Okay, that's fine.
it's fine.
All right, next up.
So
Been to an orgy. And notably, the definition of an orgy is
look at you.
5 plus people.
you had to put that caveat on there.
Now, I did not do that. That was already on the meme
Oh.
that I found.
Oh. Ow. Have to keep remembering that I need to type words as well. I need to type like things. So
been to an orgy, as in you were at a party of 5 or more. That doesn't necessarily mean that you participated. Although that is kind of presumed in this case.
Yeah. So is this another one of our like accidental orgies? Just like walking in on one, just like, oh no. Although, funny story.
Here we go.
Not me personally. So years ago, one of the first bear runs I went to, a friend of mine that I knew from college happened to live in the area, and he came to the after like the evening. Like he didn't buy a full pass. He was just like, oh, I'm just going to be here for like an evening kind of thing. And they were talking about, oh, after hours, there's this, going on down here, and then there's stuff going on upstairs. And he was like, oh, what is that? And I go, oh, there are things that are happening upstairs. And he goes, oh, well, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I just have to show you. So
I guess I just have to show you.
I mean, you kind of do. You can't just like, I don't like, so we he went up. No, it wasn't me. So he was talking to someone else because I remember it because he went upstairs. Like he went upstairs with like somebody because I'm assuming, I think the other person was thinking that he was flirting with him.
Oh.
And so they went upstairs and walked into the play space of the hotel of the run, which you could say was an orgy. And he kind of was like, nope, because I think at that point in time he was dating somebody, and he was like, I'm gonna just, and he came right back downstairs. It was so funny. So that's cute.
All right, we ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, now this, I think we may have to have a little discussion on. This is how it was written. Been to any not safe for work convention.
Okay.
So to me, this means any leather event, bear run, like puppy play session, like the not safe for work is the key part of it.
Right.
I mean, it's called a convention, but I feel like those things
Doesn't have to be specifically convention-esque.
Well, that's why I said
Bear
I think
run.
we need to have.
Bear run, I think
Yeah,
would be fine.
Yeah.
I think considering it, I'm gonna have to because I hate this. There we go. Now my Skype is in front of me. I move things around.
Event that ended up having some NSFW
Things.
parts to it.
That's fair.
Right. Like, would you want your coworkers to come to this or tell them about said thing? Or are there, or more than likely, are you going to edit how you talk about said event?
Yeah. So the question for me becomes, have I ever been to a safe for work convention? The answer is yes, in a ways.
I mean, I've been to
gone-
work conventions that are considered
Yeah.
I went to
safe
Gen
for
Con.
work. But I would also say I would not be surprised to be told that there were, shenanigans taking place at said events.
Yeah. So that's where I kind of feel like the way this is reading is that the convention was essentially designed to be a not safe for work one. So Jeff mentioned the Gen Con. While I know for a fact, like shenanigans at Gen Con are happening, like absolutely, like 100%.
Right.
But it wasn't designed for that.
Okay.
You could tell your friends you went to Gen Con and they go, oh, okay, cool. Did you get any cool like gaming, comic, whatever kind of things? They're not going to go, did you fuck somebody?
Well,
although they
on
might.
your friend.
I mean, depends on the friend. But that's true too.
That part. All right, next one. Fallen asleep during sex.
Oh no.
The look on David's face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had to stop and think. I had to think because, yeah, yes. Actually, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, had sex outdoors.
I'm thinking of this. A couple of these things could be overlapping.
I mean, yeah. I mean, technically, you can do more than one of these at the same time.
I mean, an outdoor sex orgy and then falling asleep afterwards, like that, or during is.
Well, wait. You could, in theory, have been DP'd or DP'd somebody at a bathhouse while having outdoor sex, and it's an orgy of 5 or more.
Right. I mean, it's not impossible.
Right.
Although the outdoors might be a little harder because you're thinking like maybe a pool or an area where there's stuff like that going on. Does your area have that?
All right. So I'm going to make a presumption that all of us have put a couple of markers down at least. All right. Next up, have come hands-free or made someone come hands-free. So either you have without using your pause or you had somebody else.
Bingo.
It's my not surprise face.
So Damon's our
Oh,
first bingo.
so I have to read
I
these, I guess.
no, we'll go over a little bit.
Okay.
I want to see how far we go. Um,
Okay.
I am close in more than one way to a bingo at
Oh
the
my.
moment, but not actually fully there.
So,
All
ooh.
right. And we are halfway through the list. Hooked up without knowing their name. So this is the anonymous
Hmm.
category.
So Gary, you should hit that one.
Shady.
Look, you are notorious on the show who have talked exclusively about things like pickle parks and going to those places. I'm just calling it what it is.
So what's funny is I was just at a work function. So a little bit of background. A couple times a year, I'm on a statewide coalition for HIV prevention and care planning. And I've made some great connections with that. And a group of us go out to have dinner after the day-long meetings are done. And so we carpool. And in my carpool, we were on our way from the location, the brew pub that we had dinner, on our way to a dessert place. We went out for ice cream afterwards. Yes, in January. And when we got in the car, I can't remember what the joke was, but we were talking about something, and I dropped that in the car, but I did it on purpose. I said something about, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, it's not like we're going to a pickle park or anything. And I did it on purpose because I wanted to see how people in the car reacted. Because if people know what it is, they'll react a certain way. And all of us work in the field of sex health, basically.
Right.
In some fashion. And so we should all probably have familiarity with what this is. But I was so amused by how the person who was in the passenger seat riding shotgun nearly peed themselves because they were not ready for me to drop that nugget in the conversation. Like it had the intended effect, and it was very funny. So yes, that is technically a thing. All right, next up, own an animal hood. Now, this one I slightly changed. It did say puppyhood, but I realized that we do have more than just puppies out there.
Right.
There are different types of animals that you could possibly have a hood for. So there is that.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, own more than 3 jock straps or harnesses. So I think this is differentiating from the
Like you
look
can't.
at me dabbling, like, ooh,
Yeah.
I have a jock strap now. Like,
Yeah. You can't see it, but I turn around because right here is a like one of those canvas shopping bags
mhm.
that is full of nothing but jock traps.
So we know that Damon put down a marker for that one.
Yes.
I honestly don't think I'm going to get a bingo.
You never know.
Well, he's looking at his whole card. He's seeing what's to come that he's going to
Ah.
make.
Well,
Next up, own more than one sex toy.
Maybe.
yeah.
There it is. I'm busy looking on my card. I'm like, it's got to be on here somewhere. Where the hell is it? It says they're not in alphabetical order. I'm like,
Hmm?
All right. Next up is paid for Grinder Plus, Sniffies Plus, etc. So basically, you paid for the extra version of the service, like the ad-free version. You get to save 100 profiles. You get to save your messages or videos, whatever that may be that the service gives you.
Are you going to say maybe this extends to like, say, Growler or Scruff?
That's why it's etc.
Nice.
Yeah, I figured it was, so it could be Scruff. Let me see. Scruff, Grinder, Growler. What else? Hetero.
Chubster.
Cruising.
Yeah.
Chubster, Bigger City.
Any of those
my phone.
apps and
So
apps and website.
yeah.
W Bear, Adam for Adam, Jacked Bro.
I don't know if W Bear really falls in that same category.
Does W Bear have a?
Yeah, it does.
I didn't know it had a paid program of it. Well, that's the thing, I guess.
Well, if you already pay for it, you wouldn't know. But if you pay for it to become a VIP, then yes, you get unlimited requests for private albums, up to 5,000 favorites, unlimited following and unfollowing.
Ah.
That's because it pops up every damn time I open the app.
True.
Next up, played with a straight guy. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, I would think.
Bingo number 2.
Or
Gary. Damn.
well, I'm just, saying.
Well, I will say both of these are using the free space. So as an FYI.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. So those that don't know, because you haven't seen the bingo cards, in the middle of the bingo card is the Cubs Out Loud logo, which is your free space. So that's why I kept saying 24. So everyone automatically gets 1. So there's a possibility that you have 4 ways to get a bingo with only 4.
No, it's not 4.
Yeah, it is.
It's 8.
It's 8.
Or wait. 1, 2,
1.
3. Oh, wait. I'm thinking
it is 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3. My brain went there too. My brain went there too.
Count.
I'm thinking of like north, south, east, west, northwest, south, northeast, and I'm like, no, it's got to go all the way across. Never mind.
Right. Of like 2 diagonals, up and down, left, right. There's your 4.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, played with a family member. I just realized I have a typo on my list, so now I don't know. Is that a typo on the bingo card?
Is it
played with the family members? Is that what you're referring to?
Because no, there is, yeah. So there is. Sorry, it's just making me laugh because technically, I guess if you wanted to say it differently, you would say played with a family's member. That wasn't quite what I was intending, but that's how that turned out. So yeah, it should be played with a family member, not plural. But anyways. Here we go. Stopped sex early and gone home. In other words, you tapped out. You were like, nope, not finishing. This is not a thing.
So I can't mark that one based on semantics. Have I stopped sex early? Yes, but
normally
I didn't have to go home. Yeah,
you were already home.
I was already home.
Could we do the slight caveat of or sent them home?
No, I like it as it is. Unless
For some reason, David doesn't want to claim this one, and I'm with Jeff. I'm like, I think if it's your home and you're already there, that's fine. Like technically, you gone home. Like you just there. Like you already in the bed. Like or wherever.
Basically, the idea of you stop sex early and both of you parted ways.
Yes.
Either one
Correct.
went home or one left your home.
Yes.
Are we in agreement to that caveat?
I am in agreement with it. It's 2 out of 3, I think.
Okay.
Because if anything, the intent of what that spot was for is what I'm thinking.
Yes.
So that's number 3.
I was just gonna say that's why David didn't want to claim it because that makes 3 bingos.
Look, there's nothing wrong with having 3 bingos, okay?
He's going for a coverall, I think is what's happening here.
God bless it. I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like,
well, we're down to the last couple here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, subscribe to an OnlyFans just for fans, etc. So in other words, you subscribe to a amateur porn.
Bingo.
Yay! Jeff got a bingo.
I've got one, and I think I might have another one coming up.
Well,
and
I haven't gotten one yet. I got a lot of bingo marks, but I don't have one yet. David, you're on 4 bingos?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I honestly
think I'm looking at this. Yeah, I'm looking at this.
Looking at this,
and
I got one more, and then it's basically no more.
Okay, I'm looking at what's left. Oh,
we're
God,
down to 3. We're down to three final selections. Next up, Taken, Viagra, Cialis, or the like, etc. So you've taken an enhancement for ED purposes, basically. So a blue pill.
Taking an enhancement, whether you have ED or not.
Also that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm not
All
going to
right.
throw it out. Like, okay.
Okay. And then took a hookups or friend with benefits virginity.
Oh my.
What if you don't know?
I mean, that's fair.
Okay.
That you might not know.
So I'm gonna point this out now. I will not get a coverall.
All right. By the way, I have a bingo.
Yay! Yay!
Finally, bingo. I think there's only 2 left.
Oh, I think there's 3.
So, no, well, there's 1 on the list, but I saw 1 on my card that I didn't have on the list. So technically there are, I guess, 25. I don't know how that happened. I thought I removed 1, but I guess I didn't take it off of there. So the one I had last on the list is worn a toy or cage or etc. in public.
Right.
There's one I don't remember you saying.
I didn't, but it's on my card, so I'm gonna say it. Because if it's on all our cards, then it just wasn't on the list.
Uh-huh.
And that is had sex with someone who doesn't speak English.
Right.
Here's a question. What if they didn't speak English very well?
Oh. Yeah, because I kind of there's a I'm counting it.
Yeah, I think that counts.
Because it gets
I would say they are not it is not native and they are not fluent.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Now I got bingo number 2.
I got bingo number 5.
I have 1 vertical and 1 horizontal.
I only have the one.
Look at you.
I have 2, 3. I have 4 possible bingo things where I'm missing 2.
Mhm.
I have 2 where I'm or 1, 2. I have 3 where I'm missing 1, and I have 1
Right.
where I'm missing 3. So like
Wow.
I've got. So I am nowhere near a coverall.
I'm moderately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots I did not fill.
I have 8 spots I did not fill.
1, 2.
Although one of
3.
them might be an 8, but I felt like it
Yeah.
was like I felt like this thing could be considered one, but it's not. But whether it is
Okay.
or not, I'm not sure. Because the been to an ordeal with 5 plus people,
Mhm.
I may have like full out been, but also I considered how much sex was happening at the campground that I went to years ago,
Mhm.
which I participated in the sex. That I felt like it
Right.
was kind of orgy-esque, which also then
That's
fell
fair.
into the been to an NSFW event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I
Yeah.
counted that one. But that wasn't one that actually participated in any of my bingos, either of my bingos.
Right.
I have
Yeah.
not been caught having sex. I've been almost caught having sex, but not been caught.
Right.
Really? Not even like masturbating at home by a family member? I figured that was kind of a given for anybody who has siblings or parents.
I mean, I didn't consider that as being as sex. That's a
No.
sexual activity, but not sex.
Ooh, therein lies the rub, my friends.
All right, if
Literally,
that's the
Literally.
case, if that's the
But
case,
if that's the case,
yes.
I have
do
3
you have a
bingos.
third? There you go.
That's got another bingo.
I have not accidentally sent nudes to an NSFW friend.
Same.
I have not taken an eating medication. I do not own an animal hood. I have not participated in handballing in any way, shape, or form. I have not been to a bathhouse. And I have not fallen asleep during sex.
So before or after?
Right. But not during sex. So
That's the
Yeah.
important part. That is the important part. Yes.
Yeah. So for me, the ones I did not get are accidentally sent nudes to a safe for work friend.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Although there has been once or twice that I was scared that they were going to see something.
Uh-huh.
Which is why you have the hidden folder on your damn phone with your images in it. So they're in lockdown. Like Jeff, have not fisted or been fisted. Although I wouldn't rule it out. I have been told many years ago that I have small hands. And therefore, I might, be of interest to some people.
maybe that's something to try with supervision.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Never do it on your own.
Also have not DP'd or been DP'd. To me, that takes a lot of logistics. I don't think I'm that limber.
Please note that I did check that box.
Look at you. You go ahead. Right on.
Let's see. I'm trying to go in alphabetical order. I do not own more than 3 jock straps or harnesses. The key is more than.
So you own exactly 3.
No. I just wanted to clarify there was a number in that and it did not qualify. So I also do not own an animal hood. I have been around lots of people who have owned them. I have held them, I have not tried one on. And
Mhm.
it does not necessarily call to me to wear one, like, or to
Right.
even try one out.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I see myself more than anything as probably being a handler.
Right.
So if I was going to be around, especially pups, or kitties,
Hmm.
ponies, like
Hmm.
cows, any
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that, I would probably be a handler more than anything.
Right.
Let me see. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. I have not played with any family members, or family's members. I have not taken Viagra or Cialis or any of those things. I am not against them. I think they serve a purpose and a place. I know when I was younger, I was pretty judgmental about that, but that was because I felt that people were using it like as a virility thing, like,
Mm.
and also like kind of as a way to, I don't know, I interpret it as like to, I guess, have their like masculinity, like, that they could maintain an erection for hours
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so it made sense to me from like an adult entertainment, like a film standpoint, that like that there's an understandable need. Let me put
Mhm.
it that way. But I'm like, eh. And then as I've gotten older, I feel like if you need it, you need it, so be it. Um, Also, there was a time when it was only Viagra. There were no other alternative options.
True.
So I kind of have been always particularly possessive about medications when there's like a limited inventory and it's like it should be used for its intended use. So like don't be getting crazy with that.
Right.
So, anyways. And then also I have not worn a cage or a toy, etc., in public. So
Oh. Okay.
And the thing
did
is,
Damon just did
that's
Damon
his.
just discover his sixth bingo?
Maybe because we have to. So we have to talk about it.
Well, Jeff, what were you just gonna say first?
Well, it says you wore it in public. It doesn't mean that it was visible in public.
Yeah. Yes. I agree that
Ah,
part.
that's yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So
that's why I marked it.
ah, look at you. Um, and the thing I have to like caveat with this is because I have to ask the question:
Mhm.
would a cock ring be in this category?
I would count that in the category.
Oh, that's a really good question. I guess I didn't consider that. Well, okay, so along those lines, would we say a cock ring, a ball stretcher, a
Hmm.
combo of the two,
Right.
a
Is
cock
that
ring with a butt plug?
see the butt plug falls under toy for me? Like in my mind,
Right, right.
like
Well, but
that
there are
goes.
some that are like
Yeah, 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 yeah. You got the
joined
little
and stuff.
hook and ladder, not hook and ladder.
I know what you meant. I know what you
Woo!
meant. um, what about nipple clamps with chains that are connected to the cock ring?
See, and to me that see like so for me,
Uh-huh.
like a nipple clamp can fall under toy, which is why I'm like, as soon as I read it again, and when
Right.
you first read it, I was like, oh no, I don't, a cage I've not worn, I've never put like a toy on or anything along those lines, but cock ring in public, yes, yeah,
Yeah, I'm thinking along the lines of this as being like a sexual device.
Right. So if that's the case, and we're broadening the category to
that's
include
bingo
some of
number
the
six.
things we
It
just
does
talked
say
about.
etc. So
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why I mean,
Yes.
so that is bingo number six and
Well, that
seven.
that that got me closer to another bingo,
Yeah,
but not quite. That's too funny.
and seven technically. That is bingo number 6 and 7.
Jeez Louise.
So with that, I'm 3 away from a coverall.
I was
Okay.
just gonna say, because there's only 10. No, wait. 12
2.
bingos you can get. If you had a coverall, you would have 12. 5 and 5 plus the 2 diagonals.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I've got to do this again. So I've got diagonal, diagonal. Okay. Yeah. So I have, because that one essentially gave me 2. So I have 7. Because where it was, yeah. Anyway, okay. So hi, everybody.
Damon is well practiced.
The 3 that have been marked, that I did not mark, I should say, are accidentally sent news to a safe for work friend. Like that's one, because I am
wait.
really...
Something just occurred to me. So have any of us sent nudes to a safe for work friend intentionally?
No.
Because I just realized that's a caveat. It's the opposite. You intentionally sent them to a safe for work friend.
See, for me, if I'm sending my nudes to you, you are not a safe for work friend. Like, to me, a safe for work friend is like a coworker that I don't want those 2 trains to ever meet ever again. They are not passing by. They are literally going in totally opposite directions. For me.
But if you had a suspicion about a safe for work friend and you were testing the waters, you could accidentally, aka with intention.
I think you're stretching out here.
I am not doing
Oh no,
that
this is
shit.
a legit thing. I have heard of this happening.
Well, yeah.
Girl, who are your friends?
Not for us.
And if anything, I would say it's somebody on the DL that does that, because then it's like, oh, my bad. Like, I didn't mean to like send you my hard dick picture. But if it leads to something, imagine that.
Okay. The other one, there's 3. So that was one. Played with a family member. Never done that. And then took a hookups FWB's virginity. I've never done that.
Oh.
Yeah. So hi. One of my like personal rules is and has always been that I don't want to be that for someone. There's a lot of societal, religious, like all of that expectation on that kind of thing, and I don't want that for me.
Right. So, as a clarification, this could be a mutually first-time experience at a younger age in your past,
right?
In which you both technically took each other's virginity,
right? I took this to mean like, well, for me, because oftentimes it happens, because a lot of people they'll see what I have and they want that to be like their first time kind of thing, and I'm like, no.
Right.
For if I know my fellow podcasters have seen, I believe me. I am not a starter dick. I'm just gonna say that. Like, it's curved. It is thicker. It is not an easy like in and out moment for any part of the body. So I need you to be somewhat experienced in some way, shape, or form. I don't feel comfortable potentially hurting you.
That's fair.
So that is why I've chosen not to do this. Not also because of all of the like stigma about that. So So yeah. So those are 3, and then the last one was one of the toy cage, etc. in public, and I realized that is not true, because I've worn cock rings like at like a bear event. I've worn it all day, kind of an opportunity. But so I guess I will say this. I'm going to ask this because we're all sort of having the conversation. Um, what is one that's on here that it surprised you that you were able to market?
Nothing.
I mean, not surprised, but like you're like, oh, okay.
Um, like some of them are a little specific.
Hmm.
So I mean I did have to think about the virginity one
Hmm.
because like you, Damon, like to me that's like a serious thing.
Hmm.
Um
I'm the only
and
one
so
who's lower on the totem pole.
well, I feel like even today in today's society, not as much as it used to be when we were younger or our parents were younger, like I think the importance of it has diminished over time. I also think it's relative to like the awareness about like, sex and, adult entertainment and all that kind of stuff. Also, it's very different for guys than it is for girls. Like, not to speak so much on a binary concept, but the reality is like, men are biologically different in that like they tend to be more horny. I don't know how else to say it. And so to them, like having sex is a different thing than others, I guess is the way to phrase that. So yeah, like that one. The had sex with someone who doesn't speak English. That was at a bathhouse.
Hmm.
Um,
So you can mark that off.
yes, it was. Well, it was that, and also not knowing their name. Like that's where the overlap thing comes in. I have been approached by smaller, smoother build guys, usually by physical description. My guess is that their race is either Asian or Latin.
Okay.
In that case, and so there's kind of a worship aspect.
Mm.
And it's really about the mood. I'll be honest with you, whether or not I'm into that at that time.
Right.
Which goes
I
back
get
to
it.
the whole like if someone's not interested in you, don't take it personal because it's not personal. It's just it's
Sometimes.
not only their preferences but also like you don't know what's going on in their head.
True that.
And so, there have been plenty of times in my past that I was like kind of chasing somebody, not really chasing them, but, wanting to be with somebody. Most likely it was usually at a bathhouse or at a play space, like when I worked at the campground resort, or been to other ones. And you kind of get a vibe like, and I think we've all been there. Maybe not all, but I think a lot of us have been there where we've kind of really been zeroed in or focused and not necessarily picking up the hints or the clues that like they're not interested or this is not going to be a thing. And sometimes you do get a little weird in your behavior, almost desperate, or like so hyper focused that you're not picking up on the
On a clue.
right, the nonverbals or whatever, that they're just not interested.
Yeah.
So yeah, like because there have been times that I've been approached and I'm like, I am not interested at all. And then there have been other times where I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. So, and I've been on the receiving end of that as well. Like there have been plenty of times especially in bathhouses, I've been to a bathhouse and I've watched a guy that I think is really hot. And he just doesn't really seem to give me the time of day or be interested. But also doesn't give me the nonverbal that they don't want me to watch. And sometimes for me, because I own it, I'm a self-labeled voyeur. That is like one of my things. I love watching other guys enjoy themselves or enjoy themselves with others. I'm perfectly content with that. There has been plenty of times I've watched a guy that I wanted to like have fun with, and I kind of get the vibe or the energy that he's not interested or not right now, and has like played and been with other people. And sometimes that's actually really interesting because it gives you a lot of insight. So like if you see them in action, you kind of get a feeling for, them and kind of what they're into or whatever. There have been a couple of times that's been very insightful and I'm like, oh yeah, never mind, moving on. you're like, no.
Yeah.
I was interested in you. Now I know more than I used to. That has
Now I have
changed the circumstance.
now I have experienced you and or experienced it, and I'm like,
Right.
glad I dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
got
yeah,
the bullet thrown my way, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so
Jeff, you said
that's a good question, Damon. Yeah, I had
Jeff, you said nothing. Nothing surprised you.
Nothing.
yeah.
Okay. Um,
What about you,
I
Damon?
I was a little surprised that falling asleep during sex was on here. Um,
Okay.
it has happened.
Yeah.
And it's just um, well, okay, I'll own it. Um, it has happened at a bear run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you're up crazy hours sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the dark room.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dark room.
Listen,
But
I'm going to
I'm
say
just
this right here, and right now. Not the first, not the last. It will happen. Like
uh-huh.
it may not happen to all of us. As a person who
Hmm.
put on them in the past, trust.
Yeah.
Damon
Like
is telling the truth. Like
hold on.
you are tired. You are probably exhausted. You have not rested, or your body
Yeah.
is like, bitch, you need to rest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so instead of, and it's usually because the person is, I'll be honest, sitting or laying down.
Uh-huh.
Like if they're
That.
standing, that's a little more difficult to fall asleep. But if
Yeah.
they're sitting in a
Yeah.
chair, sitting on the floor, or sitting on the bed, or laying
Laying
down on the
laying,
bed,
yeah.
laying
Yeah.
on the bed is the big one. Like if there's a bed and they've laid on it,
Yeah.
don't be surprised if you hear some snoring.
I'm
That's
calling
fair.
it like it is. Like it was I can't remember which one, but it was a bear run, and it was one of the late the again, like the dark rooms are going until like 2 or 3 in the morning,
Right.
and you go in there, you've been in there for a little bit, and you sit down. It was a sit down one. I was sitting, and I started making out with this guy, and we're playing around, and he goes down, and I kind of sort of sit back,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I know I fell asleep, and again, I'm not saying it was like I fell asleep, like I was out for like 20, 30 minutes. I'm talking like
You doze off.
you doze off, and
Right.
but that doze off, I think it's longer than like a minute, because you wake up, you see someone down on you, and then the next thing you know, they're gone. That Yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume he took the hint, or understood, maybe being respectful, and was like, I don't want to wake him. He must be tired, and just
Aw.
because again,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
that's fair.
I I leaned back, head back.
Right.
He was going to town,
You were,
and next thing I remember,
nice and cozy
I yeah,
and feeling good.
Right, right. I mean, that's the key thing. Like, for the sake of this discussion, like there is no shame in falling asleep during sex. I think most often, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen between in a relationship. Um,
off
if you know your partner or partners that well, do not be surprised. Like
Mhm.
falling asleep is a sign of relaxation. So
Yeah.
like, if they are that relaxed,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you are
I was
giving it to them, and they are the bottom, don't be mad.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, on the flip of that, I was um playing with someone. We were in Vegas. It was this recent trip to Vegas. He wanted to play. It was late. He had already told me, like, he had been out all day, like walking around, like he went to one of the like trails or something,
Mhm.
and he invited me to his room, and we, started going at it, and we're on in a bed, and next thing I know, he's like slightly snoring, and I'm like, okay. I understood it because it was late. It was, I want to say 1 or 2. It was early. It was early in the morning.
Right.
But again, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense.
No shame.
Yeah. I was also, what's the other one? There was one other. Oh, the been paid, have paid for sex moment. Yeah.
So I think I talked about this before.
Were you the one, you were talking about accidents, right?
Yes. I am the one who did not realize that the gentleman I was with felt compelled to gift me, because that was not something we had discussed or prearranged. So I was not soliciting. It was not prostitution. But I also found it to be awkward because I just didn't know what to say or do in that moment. And now that I've gotten older, if that were to happen again, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be like, okay, take the money and go, honey. Like, oh, you have a gift card? Thank you. Like,
I appreciate that.
right.
Here is your Amazon gift card. Thank you for a lovely evening. I mean, yeah, it's happened. I can recall 2 occasions, and it's both sides of this: been paid and have paid. Um, the been paid was, I was in college, and it's similar to Gary's, where like I was not expecting it. It is not something I arranged. It is a gift that was given to me. And as a young college student, I was like, thank you for your support. And I don't think have I told you this story? I don't know if I have. So, um, so there was a guy who used to, where I was working downtown when I moved here, he came in, and I was, nice looking guy, really pretty eyes. That was the thing I always remembered here. Really like bright blue eyes. And he came in and he was talking very sweet and it was kind of cool and yada yada. But I knew there was something off about him. So I didn't pay any attention to him, but he kept complimenting, kept going on. And eventually he left. But then he started coming back. Like oftentimes when I wasn't there. And he was telling them, because we had an arrangement was made, and he was telling them that I was okay with him because he would like get we had snacks and stuff, and he would grab them and be like, he said I could have this, and I was like, okay, you're making this super fucking awkward. Eventually he came over one day. The place had not quite opened, and I really needed him to go because we were about to open. And so I locked the door, let him do what he needed to do, and paid him, and he was on his way. And I never saw him again. Shocker. Yay. Huh. This was fun.
I'm glad you liked it. And that was going to be one of my final questions as we get ready to wrap up. If other bingo type things come up, do you think that we would want to try that again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll try for a coverall.
Well, I don't have other things planned, I'll be honest. But as I was doing this and I put it together, I was like, okay, if this works, is this a thing we could do again? How do we go about that? And presumably, like, we could do that maybe, with patrons or whatever, and just kind of do something. But I have to see what it is. But honestly, this was based on a meme. It's called I think it said Freaky Bingo on it. And it had stuff on it. But it was kind of obvious that someone had taken like an image and then modified it. Like, and had shared it and shared it and shared it. So I was like, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to like, and then I was like, oh, I could just make one. Like, I'll just make a grid and then fill it in. And so anyways, I did all that. And then as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, but I'd like us to have different cards to shake it up, since we're all going to have the same stuff.
Things on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically we could have all used the exact same card because we all have different choices in our selections, but so anyways, there's that.
And sometimes things are open to interpretation.
Yes. Very much so.
Well, that means that's the end. Based off of all this, did you guys did any of our audience get any bingos, or any comments about anything you hear? Any questions or anything? Plenty of ways to contact us. You can go to our website, cubsoutloud.com. Shoot us an email, cubsoutloud@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. Follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Cubs Out Loud, the appropriate place, the URL. And you can join our entourage chat on Telegram at bit.ly/telegram-COL. Find out when we're planning on recording these shows by checking out our Google Calendar at bit.ly/calendar-COL. You can get various accoutrements, such as a mug, a shirt. Get yourself some cock. Over at zazzle.com/cubsoutloud. Some of those designs were designed by Smashy. You can find more of his work at tpublic.com/user/the bear. You can also become a patron to us at patreon.com/cubsoutloud, or send us a donation at paypal.me/cubsoutloud. You can find us on the various podcasting platforms. Please like us, rate us, review us there. More of that, more people will find us. Appreciate that. Find me anywhere on the internet as Box at Box, Puppy Box, Cub Box, something or another. Damon?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79. That's THAETRE 79, Cub 79 on most bear-related sites. You can find me as Pup_Umbra on Twitter, or Pup_Umbra79 on Blue Sky. Those are not safe for work. The safe for work stuff, you can find me as DMA Gamer 79 on Twitter, Blue Sky, and now again TikTok. It's back.
Oh, they're not going to ban it?
No.
Well, they prematurely pulled the platform and then brought it back today, even though today is the day it was supposed to go away, because the incoming president has promised, quote unquote, that they're at least going to try to put a 90-day executive order in place to stay the enactment of it going away. And then other companies have tried to say that they will take ownership. Anyways, it is not resolved, so who knows? That being said, if you would like to find me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as Gibber73.
And with that, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.